I love the setup here. So I did want to say thank you to our friends in Lake Zurich for hosting today. And so my name is Michael Edgar. I'm with SelectChicago, and we help put these events together on a monthly basis. It's exciting to have our first hybrid event, and I wanted to say definitely thank you to Vedmentas for coming in and representing Lithuania today. And what I'm just going to touch on SelectChicago. So we help inbound and outbound foreign direct investment. This is a really busy week for SelectChicago because while we're here, when I'm skirting off to off camera, I'm also participating in the Select USA Virtual Summit right now. So it's always fun trying to be in two places at the same time. And so for our helper T, Thomas in the background, if you can promote Andrew up into his screen, because we're going to bring in Andrew and we're going to talk about his adventure in setting up shop in the United States with Hegelmann, which is a Lithuanian and German company. So today I'm going to have Vidmantas. Why don't you introduce Andrew a little, and how he came to the United States and how you set that up for us.
Yep. Labas vakaras, Andrew.
Labas vakaras.
Tikrai malonu tave matyti. It's nice to hear and see you. Unfortunately, before you left the United States, we hadn't got a chance. My fault.
I'm sure that we will have this chance in the future, in the near future.
So I'm glad to hear it. And let me shortly introduce you and the company you represent. As I've already mentioned, that Lithuania is big in transport and logistic businesses. Trucking business, railroads, seaports, liquefied natural gas terminal. And Andrew represents Germany-Lithuanian venture in trucking business, Hegelmann Transporter. They are considered one of the biggest, I'm not sure, in top 10, top 20.
Number two by own trucks in Europe.
By owning trucks. And guess number one is from which country? In European Union. It's from Lithuania too. So two top road carriers by roads in European Union are Lithuanian companies. Girteka, they claim they own about 8,000 trucks, and Hegelmann Transporter, you will correct me, 3,700. Bit more?
We ordered at 1,200 for this year, so we'll reach 5,000 this year.
Great, fantastic. Not counting United States. So, Andrew, he reached me more than a year ago, asking about how to set up a business in United States, which place is best, what could I suggest. And thankfully, with the help of Ginta, the president of Sitka, and Michael, I remembered SelectChicago and their offering. So I was surprised how quick it all happened. And company Hegelmann Transporter opened office in the United States in Illinois, started operations, and I'm not talking more about their business. They are better in that. So, Andrew, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I'm Andrew. I'm representing company Hegelmann. A lot of already was said by Vidmantas. Thanks for that. I just want to add maybe a bit more background about our company. So we started in 1998. It's family-owned business. At the moment, we have branches in 15 countries in Europe. We have a branch in Dubai, United Emirates. We opened last year a branch in Chicago. And our next step, what we're looking for, we're already looking and we're planning. We are talking with people in China. We are just, our goal, we want to become from a European transport and logistic company to a global one. So that's why I'm moving forward. And step by step, I believe that we'll reach that. Regarding what you said, that we did it pretty fast. I am as a business development manager. I would not agree with that. I mean, I would love to do it faster, but in the like circumstances which we had, as we all know, we had the COVID. We was not able to come to United States to meet people, to find more information. So I mean, the management was done pretty much from overseas, and I believe it was the hardest thing. I mean, if the situation would be different, I mean it would be normal. I believe we would made that faster. So at the moment, in the United States, we have 10 trucks on the road. Just the beginning. We started operations in the end of February, and we are learning at the moment, but the plans are big, and we're looking forward to keep moving and to grow up as fast as possible.
Yeah. Well, let's go back, Andrew. So I got the call from Vidmantas and Sitka in February of 2020, and you were looking for different options of wanting to select Chicago and the Chicago region. And it's my understanding that you were looking at the Chicago region mainly because of its extreme infrastructure, the logistics, the roads, it's the center of the country. But beyond that, what we were able to help you do is make some introductions to real estate agents, to attorneys, accountants, HR folks, insurance companies, and help you learn what it's like to start business in the United States. We've introduced you to bankers, and as you can tell, doing business in Chicago is the exact same as in Lithuania.
Well, it's first business. This first business which I'm developing, I mean, it was already created in here. So, but the traditions, relationship, everything. I mean, Europe and the United States is totally two different worlds. And what works in Europe, it doesn't work in the United States. And if it works in the United States, it doesn't work in Europe. So. As I told, we're still learning. I mean, we are very thankful for and with Montas and for you, Mike. I mean, for all connections which you provided to us, for the people which we met because of you. It was a good help, and it was very, very helpful. I mean, I'm not sure that we would be able to start in February without your help. So.
Thank you. Well, and I think one of those things too is Hegelmann has been around, for 20 plus years, if not more. But so what is it like to come to the United States and realize that your business experience, where you're looked at as a brand new company in the United States?
Maybe for in Europe, I mean, pretty big part of companies which is in transport industry. Name Hegelmann already says something for them. I mean, we don't need to introduce it, to tell who we are and what we're doing. And the name of Hegelmann in the United States is mainly means nothing, and it's brand new company without any experience. It's not well known, and we're starting like new baby born, and we are happy with that, and it's even interesting for us. We're accepting it like a challenge to learn United States truck and like transportation industry, and to be a small, same successful as we are in Europe.
Yeah, and you're growing really fast. I mean, considering you were charged a year and 6 months ago to set up operations in the United States. And when it was fortunate that you were able to come to the United States in February of this year, and Vidmantas and I got to meet you in Chicago to get to know one another a little bit better. But since then, you have 10 trucks on the road in the United States, but you've also just are procuring, I think, 50 more semi-tractor trailers right now?
Yes, we ordered it was 50. We will start to come to us at the end of this year. Plus, we are looking for company to purchase, to buy, which has some assets too. The one which we have on our target has around 20 trucks. So I believe in about 1 year period, we will have around 100 trucks. That's the plan. What
Wow.
we are looking for.
So 0 to 100 trucks in basically 18 months. So that is exceptional growth, and it's definitely yeah. Well, considering you just bought 1,000 trucks in Europe, but
Yeah, I mean it's small amount if you will compare what we bought with here in Europe. Yeah. But I mean,
and so
we do understand and realize that we can't rush very fast. I mean, and we need to warm up and to feel the rhythm in United States. And when we feel that, we will start to develop even faster. Because for now we are starting on with like dry vans. We ordered now plus 10 reefers, but we are doing in Europe all kind of transportation. If you're starting from dry vans, reefers, walking floors, silos, bulks, flatbeds, automotive. So we are planning to do like same in US, but we realized that even Rome was not built in one day. So
yeah, yeah. So right now you're working in Lithuania, but you have a staff in. I think you settled in Burr Ridge for your first office. And so, how many people are in the Burr Ridge office?
in Burridge at the moment with two people. And at the moment I am here in Lithuania because I'm not able to be in the United States until I don't have working visa. But in a
Hmm.
couple of months, I think I will have it, so I'll be back to the United States.
Okay. So and some of this is talking about your journey with coming to the United States, because a lot of the trade commissioners, when they're talking to businesses coming here, and with our local municipalities with businesses coming here, we all have a general idea of what that's like, and it's got to be very frustrating doing 100% remote. Uh, Granted, we're all doing 100% remote until the last month, but what is it like to be building really you're going towards $5 to $10 million in sales in less than a year. So that's
I don't want to sound like rude, but I think in this situation, COVID helped us to manage it from abroad, because everyone was working like Zoom conference calls. I mean, no meetings and etc. Everything was closed, so it was easier to manage it from like overseas. There is one more issue which is a bit complicating. It's time difference. If it's like 1 p.m. In United States, in Chicago, it's already 9 p.m. in Lithuania. So this is a bit complicating the life. I mean, I have to change the lifestyle. Sometimes I even felt like a truck driver, if I'm leaving work. I'm leaving. Saying bye to my kids on Sunday evening, and I'm seeing them back on Saturday morning, because if I'm coming back from work, it's already like midnight, and we already in the bed. When I'm waking up, we already at school or somewhere, so I don't see them. So I'm telling. I am not not a truck driver, but I felt like I am driving a truck, and I am always on the road.
understood. And I think I got to go through the fun journey with you last April about selecting the site you're going to have. We worked with, at one point, our partners with Jones Lang LaSalle looking at sites for you. You originally were looking at the Hammond, Indiana area for different pieces. And then tell us why you chose Burr Ridge.
Uh, Actually, the circumstances made us to change the location. I mean, we was looking in somewhere in East Chicago area in the Indiana state, but we was not able to find a good place, a good office to rent. The biggest issue was we was not able to find a place which would be able to reach with truck. I mean, that office would be reachable by for truck drivers with their own trucks. So that's why we choose Illinois, Bridge. It's more. There is more uh, opportunities to get the office which we was looking for and which we was needed. So that's why we moved to Illinois.
Well, and there was something a little bit more than that too, is because you have some friends and connections that you were able to do from Lithuania, because we got to meet your domestic partner, not your partner, but a friend.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Well, and we remind a lot of the municipalities that we work with that sometimes the best location and best fit isn't really all that goes into the decisions. It also comes into if they have people that they know locally that makes them more feel comfortable. So when we walk through the different pieces, and I'm not necessarily sure if I understand the layout of this office space, but when you were here in February, it was you were adding your first person, and then you had somebody here to be able to co-office with as you start building up and ramping up. So as we're getting companies first as a land or a soft landing in the Chicago region, we're understanding that these are sales offices. They're 1 to 2 people at most, and then they start scaling quickly. Because eventually, what are the space needs you're going to need when you have 50 trucks and the local administrative support that you're going to have? You know, Burr Ridge might not be the best case for you 2 years from now, but what are you looking for at that time?
Yeah, I mean, Bridge it's only for our beginning. It's like a temporary place where we started up, and of course we're looking forward, maybe not to rent, but maybe to buy some our own office area where we'll be able to develop all this job and business in US.
Yeah, because one of the other things I know Select Chicago is doing more of as more companies have come through is what we call aftercare. So it's just not putting out the fishing line, getting you hooked and bringing you in. It's how do we help you then grow and retain in the area? Because we all know getting the sale is important, but the sale is never concluded until you buy from us again. And so what we mean by that is how do we help you grow? How do we help you retain? How do we encourage your growth because it's a rising tide lifting boats? And so this is exciting for us. We have a number of communities in our town and are in this room with us right now. There's 4 live in the hybrid. And I'm sure as you're starting to look and grow, we're going to be able to help you even more. And I know I'm looking forward to having you come back. So how is, the travel restrictions should be ending, within the next 90 days?
Well, it's getting better now already. The schools started to work for restaurants are opened outside, and the malls are opened. So we're getting back to normal step by step. Of course, not so fast that this is as it was in United States, but I hope so that soon we will back to new normal.
Yeah. Well, and one thing, because, I know the other thing that really we don't touch on, and this is really one of the main reasons why I'm also bringing you in too, is let's talk about when you want to come to the United States. There's a business case with immigration. It's not just, like in the States, we're so used to if I want to move to Texas, I could just get in my car, drive to Texas, incorporate in about 4 hours, and rent an apartment without an issue. But with you coming from Lithuania, what are the things that you need to do under a business visa or a business case visa that a lot of our municipalities don't really understand?
There is a lot of issues with that. I'm not sure that I can tell everything. But the main thing, I mean, if you will invest at least 150,000 United States, you already have a big chance to get a working visa in United States. Yeah, overways you can come to by ESTA visa, but it allows for you to come to US 2 maybe 3 times per year, and it could be risky if you will need to come to United States more times. And I don't know if that's the only 2 ways. Or you can win a green card.
Yeah, well, I'm also thinking about the sheer amount of paperwork that needs to go that you've been filling out for the last 4 months, and yeah, it's like that much. It's like 2 inches of paper.
Business plan, investments. I mean, a lot of personal data, a lot information. I mean, we was working on that. I believe a month and a half, maybe 2 months, just to get prepared for the embassy and to just start it up.
Yeah, and that's one of the important things. I know with Select USA this week, I've been talking with about 15, 16 different companies that all wish to start up a U.S. operation, and they're bootstrapping their companies in either the Ukraine or where else have we been talking? Germany and some other, and Spain. But most of them really don't know what they're in for once they start down that road. So again, it's just, yes, you can come and scout sites by jumping on a plane and looking with a business or a tourism visa, but when you want to start really getting into setting up shop, it's going to be a long journey at that point. So what would you tell, Andrew, somebody who's looking to come this way? What was the thing that you were not prepared for, and what were the things that surprised you the least?
Well, if first of all you have to connect to SelectChicago, and they will help you. And all the matters, I just even don't have an answer for you. I mean, everything was step by step. We was working on that. I mean, we saw our goal, and we was just keep moving to that goal. So of course we had issues. I told COVID, because when it started, the COVID at that moment was only showing signs in Italy, and we didn't expect that all world will go to lockdown and for so long time. First of all, when everything started in here, we believed that maybe a month, maybe 2, and we was planning to come to US April, then March. And when we saw, all what's happened, we finished to plan to come to US. There was even ideas maybe, to put on hold this project, until everything will end. But thanks God, we didn't do that, and we kept moving. So that's it. I don't know, Jeeves, I don't know what more.
Yeah.
This question.
Sounds simple and
Sounds simple and easy. That's the best way to describe it.
It wasn't simple, but you're getting information what you have to do, and you are trying to get all like papers, documents, connections, people, and you're trying to make it happen. Just see the goal, don't put your hands down, and keep working, keep moving forward.
That's great. Now, what's nice about today is we are hybrid. So I have a number of people in our audience. I didn't know if any of you have questions for Andrew. Aaron, go ahead.
How is it different? You mentioned that it's different between Europe, doing business in Europe and doing business in the United States. What are the main differences that you've found?
If I'll hear what's the difference between United States and Europe transportation?
No. In terms of setting up the business, you mentioned that it's very, very different in the United States. What works in the United States doesn't work in Europe, and what works in Europe doesn't work in the United States. So what are those main differences that you've found?
Well, if you're speaking exactly about transportation, so first of all, in the United States, it's very popular to work via middleman, what it calls in the United States broker. I mean, in United States, in Europe, we are working more with customers, and we don't have so many broker companies as there is in the United States. Second thing, a lot of things in US is based on relationships. And to get relationships, it needs time, and we can do it like that's it. We have a relationship with, Procter and Gamble, Amazon, and so on and so on. We need to prove. We need first of all to give a good service, to prepare that, to show that we can do it, even maybe not better, but at least the same like our competitors are doing that. And we can even, offer a better price, and if the customer has a good relationship with the previous tier, it won't help. It won't move. So relationship is totally different. In Europe, it's relationships there is, but it's not so. It doesn't play so big role how it plays in US.
Great. We have time for one more question, and that could be for either Vedmantis or for Andrew. So I want to see if anybody has anything that they want to ask, or if I know this has been really helpful with the amount of, people that are coming to the United States. It's always that beginning of the road, or really excited to get on the journey, but then it's a long-term road trip. And about day 5 into the road trip, everybody is getting a little punchy. The kids are starting to scream. The significant others starting to also scream. And Andrew, I'm very glad that you've made it through, really trying to get almost to the other side of this. I think by the end of the summer, you're going to be relocating here, setting up. I think that was the plan. And I'm just really excited to get to have known you through the last year and a half, and definitely look forward to working with you once you land.
Well, yeah, I just want to thank you one more time. It was really big help, and I'm telling you, as I told, I'm not sure that we already would be on the road, with Mantas and Mike. So appreciate that, and looking forward to continue our collaboration and our friendship in the future.
Wonderful. So, well, thank you again, Andrew, and I wanted to say thank you to Vedmantis, since we're going to end for your time today. So this is going to conclude the Lithuanian portion of our event, and now we're going to go into the 3 companies, what has changed since the last time we've met. So again, thank you.